My most recent weight loss journey started in the beginning of January 2025 this year. And I started out with Ozempic. I did that for about 10 months, lost 40 pounds, and I ended up microdosing the Ozempic for the last 3 months of the use on that. And then I switched to Zepbound because I don't have diabetes and Ozempic is made for people with diabetes. So I switched to Zepbound, and so I've been doing that for the past few weeks, and I have lost an additional 5 pounds. My starting weight was about 250 pounds exactly. And I learned to put my big girl pants on and get out of my head and reject the notion that I could not stick with routine or habits. I have been doing habit stacking, which has been the key to my success in maintaining consistent weight loss, staying healthy, and also improving my labs. Here's how it all started though. So I've struggled with my weight my entire life. I grew up in a very strict Christian home. It was also abusive, unfortunately, in every way you can think of. The only thing that wasn't restricted was food. So I wasn't allowed to express my feelings. I wasn't allowed to show any signs of disappointment or sadness. I felt alone. I had no one to talk to. I was just, it was depressing. So my whole childhood was pretty much depressing. And this compounded the fact that I was adopted and I never felt like I really fit in with my adoptive family. So fast forward to January 2025 again, my knee and ankle pain swelling was worsening. My knee and ankle pain started when I was in the Army. And so it's one of my conditions that I left with. And I was also more sedentary because I started working from home. My podiatrist told me that I needed to lose weight to lighten the load on my joints. I already knew that though. It's pretty obvious, right? But anyway, he stated that again around that time of January. And I responded with, I tried to lose the weight, but the pain makes it hard to exercise. The swelling is terrible. I can't seem to stick with anything because of my ADHD. I have hypothyroidism. I'm in perimenopause. I just don't have the time right now. I mean, I had every excuse under the sun. I really did. So basically, I just accepted that that was how my body was meant to be for the rest of my life. Also because I found out later on in life that my biological parents were both obese. So I just was like, okay, I'm just stuck with this body. I just need to accept it and be happy with it. And so the podiatrist looked me in the eyes. I'll never forget this, like straight in the eyes, very freakishly so, and said, can't you try harder? And at first I was annoyed and I felt offended. But then I went home and thought about it, and I said, you know what? Maybe this is my wake-up call and a sign from God, because my adoptive mom died in her early 40s because she had sickle cell anemia, and they didn't have the type of treatments that they have now for it. I was 11 years old when she died. I met my biological mother later on in life in my mid-20s, and she had a condition called scleroderma, an autoimmune condition, and she also died in her early 40s. Now, I was 40 at the time of this discussion, January 2025, so you can imagine how I'm already freaked out then that I probably won't make it past my 40s. I try not to think that way, but I'm not going to lie, it does cross my mind. So since then, I've made it my ambition to take better care of my health and to stop making excuses. I am not perfect. I'm still a work in progress. I created this program because I have hundreds of bariatric and GLP-1 clients come to me with the same issue. And one of the things that I see with people who have had bariatric surgery is they say that they work with a dietitian before the surgery and maybe briefly after the surgery for a little while, but then that was it. They were just pretty much handed a pack of papers after the surgery, post-op, and sent on their way to figure things out on their own. And the things that I hear about people for GLP-1s, they're prescribed everywhere. GLP-1s, other weight loss medications such as Rybelsus, Contrave, then you have the peptide forms of these things and compounded versions and all kinds of things. But anyway, my point is they're prescribed these things and they're on their own. And so what I'm seeing a lot of is, in addition to being on their own during the process of losing the weight, after they've lost the weight or while they're losing the weight, they're dreading the whole time coming off this medication. And for the people who have had bariatric surgery, they're dreading gaining all their weight back that they've worked so hard to lose, and they don't want to have to get a revision or have to go on the GLP-1 medication as well, or another weight loss medication. And so that's why I created the Real Talk Reset. And so the Real Talk Reset will focus more on habit stacking and mindset from a trauma-informed, body-positive, weight-inclusive approach. So basically, I saw the need and now I'm stepping up to fill in the gap. And I'm inviting you to come along on this journey with me so that we can hold each other accountable.